Hello and welcome. You're watching Best Media Info. To talk about what this next phase looks like, we're joined by Himanshu Saxena, who leads BBH India as Managing Director and also heads Saatchi and Propagate across North and East India.
The creative agencies cannot, should not operate in the way they have been because that's neither sustainable. A CMO is under tremendous pressure today. He's being asked to say, how are you going to premiumize your brand? And advertising alone, and I'm not saying advertising is irrelevant, therefore, advertising alone is not an answer to many of these problems. But I now need to have ability of prompting creativity. So I don't understand how AI exists without human imagination.
As interesting as 2025 was, 2026 brings a whole new set of challenges and opportunities. Advertising and marketing are going through a fundamental reset from how brands are built and how they build their own audiences to how agencies are structured and redefined for what comes next. Hello and welcome. You're watching Best Media Info. To talk about what this next phase looks like, we're joined by Himanshu Saxena, who leads BBH India as Managing Director and also heads Saatchi and Propagate across North and East India. With over 3 decades of experience across creative agencies, consulting, PR, and brand side leadership, he brings a rare end to end view of how brands, agencies, and platforms are evolving in India today. I welcome you, Himanshu. Thank you for so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Lalit. Wonderful to have this chat with you. Thank you.
So, as we enter 2026, looking ahead, I would really want to know what forces are most strongly influencing where BBH and Saatchi Saatchi go next. What's the biggest reset from the way things worked in 2025? And what will you approach differently compared to how you were operating in the past year? So if you can just start with that.
Sure. No, so I think let's start with maybe the last or the midpoint of 2025, because that is where I think at the group leadership level, we started having very concerted conversations around how do we dominate as a group further beyond what we already have in the northern and eastern markets. It was now our time to further deepen our strength and penetration in that market through the two brands, which is BBH and Saatchi, both of which have pre-existed in this market. It's not like they are being sort of introduced now. But I think in the larger scheme of things, we realized that given the potential of the market, given the kind of talent pool, leadership, as well as operational talent pool, which we have managed to build over these years, we are at the cusp of a massive inflection point of growth further, if I first see it from the creative agency standpoint. Add to that, unfortunately, the industry has been undergoing a certain flux, as we all know, right? At an industry level, over the last 8-10 years, one has anyway seen, even in India, globally it's been going on for about 15-20 years, but in India, if you play only as a creative agency in the classical sense, right, the business is tough to sustain, the business is tough to grow, right? So it was a combination of two factors. One is our own ambition, our own sort of huge desire and ambition to dominate these two markets further. And combined by the fact that in the modern marketing playbook today, the creative agencies cannot, should not operate in the way they have been, because that's neither sustainable, but more importantly, not even desired and asked for or expected by the clients in the market, right? And the third factor, of course, is that this industry has been under stress, as we all know better, to be able to keep the brightest and the best talent for a very long time. This industry, it is a fact, and I have no shame in admitting that for a variety of reasons across agencies, right, a lot of good talent has, from time to time, has chosen to step out into other industries on the client side and so on. It's equally important that we as a group widen our approach to this creative business in a manner that it also attracts as well as retains our talent because of the wider spectrum of opportunities which we should be able to offer to people. We should not be this classical television doing some social content only kind of an agency, right?
Right.
So it is a combination of these two or three very macro factors, if you like, is where the starting point of the issue was. When we looked at how do we operationalize this plan, right? On the back of a great journey which BBH has been having, right? We managed, like I said, a very powerful talent pool. And the next step for us was, and I think what is more, I would say, something we are very proud of, is that we actually could identify pre-existing senior leadership and operative leaderships within our systems and agencies, which got elevated to build this powerful core nucleus to be able to achieve our ambitions in North and Eastern markets as well, right? So besides my sort of expansion of role beyond running BBH nationally, to oversee Saatchi and propagate, by the way, is to actually accelerate. And the whole purpose, and I think the seriousness of what I'm saying should be hopefully convincing to you, with the fact that I have willingly and proactively chosen to relocate myself to our Gurgaon operation to really get more seeded, because eventually, that's what clients are paying for. Clients are paying for the senior most and the brightest people in very high touch relationships, right? I mean, we all did what we did during COVID for a variety of compulsions, but that is not how today's CMOs expectations and CEOs expectations are. I think it's high time that we as an industry looked out in rather than in out, right? And by which I mean today, not only in the context of the recent 5-6 months of the massive flux which is going on in the industry, and especially in the context of North and East markets. I've been interacting with a lot of CEOs, CMO level people, right? Various boardroom chats. The conversations are full of anxiety and nervousness right now. Also, you should know that CMOs, to your question on why are they anxious, what are the two big things CMOs are seeking? I mean, at least in my observation. One is very high degree of reliable, solid, senior leadership partnerships, which they can trust, seek advice on, and wherever they can, seek their physical help in solving for things. And why is that important? Today, CMOs are not, for a while now actually, not just responsible for the brand and the comms. They increasingly, with the marketing ecosystem evolving, the marketing ROI metric has become very, very specific and sharp. You can no longer hide behind some vagueness of loose vanity metrics, if I may call them, of impressions and likes and shares. That means nothing. These are soft parameters. Important, but soft parameters. So a CMO is under tremendous pressure today. He's being asked to say, how are you going to premiumize your brand such that I can extract 20% better price? How are you going to do something that I have a wider dealer network for an auto company? More and more dealerships are actually chasing me to sort of be my brand sort of face. So there are some hard business questions CMOs are having to deal with. And advertising alone, and I'm not saying advertising is irrelevant therefore, advertising alone is not an answer to many of these problems. So CMO is now finding that I don't have the classical advertising partner who can actually help me first and foremost empathize and understand. More importantly, then guide me and coach me into solving for others. Then obviously that partner will have a very marginal role to play with. You are almost operating like a necessity. That's one. Second, if you look at what is happening in their own ecosystem when they're trying to work through this challenge, right? I mean, this industry is, at one level, it's coming back full circle, if you like. One has spoken a lot about, I've seen increasingly in the last 3 years particularly. Earlier on, even CMOs had a bit of a territorial perception of things, right? They didn't want to mix up their media agency, and I don't want to put all eggs in one basket thinking and so on. But realizing soon enough now, most mature marketers have, that if you do not have the same eye looking at all angles of this problem, you can put a team of 50 people in your marketing department, it's not going to fall in place. So even the most conventional, and does not even require highly mature, highly global, very systemized sort of marketing ecosystem. Even very homegrown, solid brands in India, their CMOs are realizing the same. That what I experience as a retailer, for example, what if I am sort of advertising something top of the funnel, there is something in the mid funnel through influencers I need to do, there's something I need to do in terms of in-store experience, something I need to take into the e-com, q-com space, and then performance in the end. If the same agency is not having a sight across, it's never going to get orchestrated. It has poor ROI, it has poor sync with each other. So in combination of these two factors of chasing a reliable, solid partners with a wide eye and really seeking that one single key through which you can solve, otherwise the budgets are not enough, otherwise consistencies fail, is a huge challenge for CMOs. Therefore, if you're doing a TVC, you better know why you're doing this TVC, otherwise don't waste your money and time in that, right? What you need is a very different kind of content sort of framework through which consumers can credibly and believably engage and get influenced by in favor of the brand. You have to
talk about these forces, AI and hyper localization and very data specific insights that goes into providing clients what they want. Do you think that creativity gets undervalued? Because I mean, for myself, when I used to watch a very creative ad, it used to stick in my memory, right? And now with the hyper personalization, hyper localization, data oriented churnouts, don't you think that creativity gets undervalued? And also on top of that, you add a layer of AI and generative AI and agentic AI. Do you think that creativity is intact or is it undervalued?
So I would like to stick to some basics when responding to this. What is creativity after all? Okay. What exactly is creativity? Creativity is a unique ability and imagination of connecting very seemingly disconnected dots to form something absolutely new. The critical phrase in my statement is seemingly disconnected points as they exist. See, you have to see this from the fact that we're in the business of commercial creativity. We're not into the business of fine art, which is much tougher and much more abstract. And it also has no compulsion of commercial value. You are here enabling a business through creativity, right? So your idea of creativity has always, will continue to be coming from data points. Which
that's a very good way to put it. That's an actually very good way.
Which iconic ad you believe you saw and you were impressed by globally or in India, which had no real data input into creating it? None. Zero. So it is just that our observation techniques and collation techniques of data points, these so-called disparate points which we are trying to sort of connect the dots on, have become highly automated and digitized. And also the sheer volume of data which is now being recorded is 500 trillion times more than what it was 20 years ago. Today, on a touch of a button, a simple data analyst will tell you how many million transactions happened in last 3 minutes on something. Earlier on in a bank, if you said, tell me all the people who have withdrawn more than 10,000 rupees in last month, the clerk will tell you, sir, give me 10 days. And he will sit with pothis of registers to figure out. That's the only difference. So I think if we stick to fundamentals of what commercial creativity means, iconicity, so-called creativity as we have consumed, will be even more powerful. And by the way, the evidence of this has been true right through. I mean, look at some of the best advertising, creative content, etc., over the last even 5 years, right?
Our reference to the best advertising generally comes from an event that we are looking ahead to, which is Cannes 2026. Now that we've talked about how AI is omnipresent in advertising, how data-led advertising is actually something that is boosting commercial creativity. Um, Firstly, I would like to understand from you, how do you see this changing what used to happen at Cannes and what will happen at Cannes? And I want you to start with this answer with telling me what kind of specific work BBH and Saatchi Saatchi is gonna, push forward, which they're confident is that it's gonna make a mark at Cannes 2026. Um, and what makes this slate different from the previous years?
Okay. So I'll give you 2 or 3 ins on this question, right? Firstly, I think a very distinct currency which BBH and Saatchi as well has built and building further, deepening it, is to seed the creativity in the context of culture. If you are not building, participating, or leveraging a cultural idea in the fabric of your creativity, it will only get pushed with money, not because people love it and they want to tell the world you saw it, something, or you want to talk about it, something which becomes talk worthy, etc. etc. So I think, and this has been a trend for a while now, nothing new about this at Cannes either. Some of the best pieces of work which are winning there, being recognized as great pieces of creativity, are all heavily invested in some or the other deep cultural context. I mean, our own case of Bassi on Garnier Fresh, Garnier Men's face wash last year, that was our first can in India by the way for BBA, right? Is a classic example of understanding the unique cultural nuance of men's attitude towards grooming. Then you figure out tactics of how do you write the wave, how do you write the content wave, how do you create a groundswell. All of those are tricks of creativity, right? But the point I'm making is that the first fundamental thing which has been present at Cannes and being celebrated for a while now is how culturally rich your creativity is. That's point one. Point number two, which you asked, that I'm not going to give away our award season strategy, by the way, but fundamentally we find there's a natural traction, but like shorter home. I mean, in about 10 days from now, we'll hopefully be meeting each other at the FEs, right? Which again is something which we have continually sort of built as our base on, and made some good comebacks. We of course have miles to go. All the pieces of work, even at an FE, forget Cannes, are gaining traction and winning and being celebrated, which have a strong cultural seeding. Right? Culture, creativity by itself is not some vague abstract idea. It is.
So you're going to stick to that same formula this year as well, culturally rich contextual advertisement.
That's like human truth here. I mean, there's nothing new to be invented in it. The only thing needs to be observed is the idea of culture changes every hour, every day, every month. What is culturally relevant, what you would say progressive today, 3 months later could sound very regressive.
So are you aware of, I don't know if you're aware of this, there is an AI platform which has rolled out a competition that if an AI made ad wins a gold at Cannes, they will be giving $1 million prize money to that particular agency or like the creator of that ad. Do you see that Cannes will get more and more entries by advertisements that are made using AI? Because now that production cost goes down, you can just go bonkers with creative ideas on these platforms.
Yeah, somehow I find, I mean, this is not for you, I'm just saying in general, such queries a little juvenile, because it's like saying I had a 35mm film camera, now I have a DSLR. Who the hell is operating it? A human eye. Who is framing it? A human eye. So answer lies in your own question. If somebody, I haven't heard of this, but if somebody is going to give $1 million to a fully AI made film, who do you think making it? There is a brilliant creative mind prompting that machine to do something. So it's like tail wagging the dog phenomena, right? So Can AI on its own sit here and start imagining the next ad for a brand? No. A brilliant creative mind has to prompt, which is a new skill creative people need to have. So, do I need to have MA literature to be a great English copywriter? Perhaps not. But I now need to have ability of prompting creativity. It's literally like great creative directors who will prompt their juniors to write in a certain way, give them certain openings to think in a certain way. That is what is being now automated. That's all what it is. So I don't understand how AI exists without human imagination. Even prompt is an imagination, dude. How is it not?
That's true. I mean, this actually brings me to my next question, which was around attracting young new age talent. And you said that creative people now needs to be good at prompting. So would you say that prompts are like a benchmark for you when you go and look out for young talent, and vice versa? Are you providing any lucrative things that makes creative agencies an attractive option for these young talents?
Sorry. So again, I'm a big believer of fundamentals to solve any problem. Our investment in ingenious human creativity will always be ahead of any other. Like I just proven to you, I think in a few examples, without human ingenious creativity, no machine will help. I can get you the best Mac. Does that make you the best art director? No, it will not. It will give you tools to become one. It will not. You still have to take that first imagination to say, what do I do? What button do I press? Right? Simple as that. Yeah. I mean, you can fly a Sukhoi fighter aircraft like you're flying a Boeing 737. Who can stop you? So if you do not leverage the potential of a machine, it's your imagination. And somebody can fly a 737 like as if he or she is in a Sukhoi. So I'm just oversimplifying the thought, but I'm just simply trying to tell you that it is not going to be incumbent on machines. Now, machines are tools which are making things faster, better, easier. The human investment in creativity, creative thinking, breakthrough thinking will and has always been our core investment. They just need to get familiarized with these tools to be able to leverage them. So, as far as at the fear, at this fear of oversimplifying this thinking, I'm saying nothing will take away from our end, at least I can tell you, investment behind continuing to build deeper, fresher, creative thinking. Whether you are a planner, whether you're an account manager, whether you are a creative person, right? So I think that will always remain on top of our agenda. But yes,
you must have heard that ChatGPT now has ads. Of course, now they they commented that they're not gonna go in this direction, but now they eventually are. As a creative person, do you think that there needs to be an experimentation with the new formats or ideas that will now be specifically designed for conversational AI environments?
Absolutely. And I think anybody who's is looking down upon tools like this under some patriarchal mindset is like a typical seniors not letting go of juniors without a ragging kind of an idea, right? So I mean, we suffered, so now we'll make you suffer. So I mean, fair enough. I mean, you did not have the advantage of leveraging that technology. Today my daughter, who uses ChatGPT for writing an essay, I have to accept the fact that this is the new life. It's all right. My dad didn't look down upon me saying, oh, you didn't go to public library, instead you went to Google and searched something. Why? Right? Who am I to object to my daughter saying if she has to write an essay? And who knows, tomorrow exams will be done on ChatGPT. Because they will finally come down to saying, what the hell are you actually asking? Because if you ask, the quality is in the question you ask, which is like a prompt, right? To a machine. So, but therefore there is a phenomenal, very untapped, it's almost like human brain, like they say, most humans use only about 10% of their brain. 90% has not yet been explored in terms of what it can achieve. AI is a bit like that right now, right? But I think more and more time we spend with it, more and we understand its core power and competencies, the possibilities are absolutely mind blowing in my view. Even today, as we know what it can do, it has enormous possibilities.
I mean, how do you see ad formats shaping up on these platforms, conversational platforms?
I mean, in every possible way. We all saw poor experiments of AR, VR at one time, and now with AI coming in there, it is becoming much faster and easier. Earlier on, if you went with an AR, VR idea to a client, the first thing, clients will say, "Boss, I don't have budgets to do this. I was just looking for a social post. Why are you wasting my time and money with this?" Today with AI, that's immensely possible, right? The kind of which was very negatively perceived, and of course legislatively things are changing on that. How you produced a deep fake of a famous name or a voice or a composition, etc., etc. When all industries are coming around on that, even Bollywood and Hollywood is coming around that this is a reality. You can no longer be trapped into this Brahminical IPR-led world, right? Wherein you're all territorial. I mean, the ingenious creativity of people at large has to be leveraged and allowed to be leveraged. If you don't, they'll find their own ways. We all downloaded stuff when there was no OTT, and we know how, right? What was legit about it? So you can't stop humanity from evolving by putting boundary line conditions just because you have some legacy perceptions of the world. So go with the flow, enjoy it, leverage it, and every format. I mean, I can go on for like 1 hour on this, so don't waste your time doing that. But formats, kind of creative elements you can play with, the kind of dynamism and interactivity you can build in your content and communication, kind of on-ground experiences brands can create. I mean, there's like innumerable permutation combinations in that.
On that note, how are you planning to do things differently for IPL 2026? Are there any new things that we can expect coming from your agencies?
We're trying a few things. I'll be honest that it's been a relatively shorter time for my sort of oversight on those, but I think the teams have been on it across BBH as well as Saatchi and Propagate, in fact. So there are some very interesting projects we are pushing for. They're all in the pipeline. So I'm hoping that we should have a couple of, let's say, fresh approaches, if not entirely disruptive and new immediately. Some places with tech, some places with data, some places with hyper localization of content in an interesting way. So I think it's a large 2-month-long festival. I think there are multiple points of engagement. So we are experimenting with a lot of interesting ideas. How you can participate differently than just saying yet another spot in IPL. Right? So
if you don't mind, can you share a few examples with me?
Not right now. Give it a few weeks, okay. You'll see. But we can talk about it then. But largely, like I said, just to give you a broader hint that, given that there is a massive influx of women viewers in cricket today, given that connected TV has come in as a very, very powerful media, it opens up a very different kind of possibility, right? I mean, we've all been living on OTT or app-based sort of viewing on mobile, especially on IPL. But today, connected TV, and I spoke about this in some place earlier on, is now becoming the next, the new fireplace where families are getting together again. So in some senses, television screen, not television as a media, television screen, the large screen at home, is again becoming an interesting place for family and friends to get together, right? But in the form that connected TV will enable it, the kind of interactivity, kind of experiences, kind of content it can deliver, right? With minimal disruption of advertising sometimes. So I think a lot of such experiments are happening. Also, then there are unique ways in which IPL as a platform is also evolving, right? I mean, the kind of things they can help you do during the breaks, during certain sort of, let's say, day parts of the game as it progresses, right? So a lot of new interesting innovations are being experimented. So let's see, fingers crossed, hopefully we'll get through with some of the interesting ones.
Second screen viewing behavior that we are seeing amongst the audience, is this an untapped ground that agencies are yet to realize the full potential of?
Sorry, you said the second screen?
Second screen behavior, yes. I mean, we're not just focused on single screens anymore, and it's like I'm
No,
watching
no.
a large
No,
screen match, but I'm also looking at, scorecards and, moments on my phone. So that way.
no, I maybe yes and no. I think, but I think at a larger level on the connected TV bit, if only if I tell you, right? I mean, and it is not just for big marquee events like World Cups and all of that. Even otherwise, the rise in connected TV, though it is linear TV, is still by sheer numbers still is very high, right? But the rapid scale at which connected TV penetration has gone up in the last 2 to 3 years is phenomenal, right? And I think a lot of brands are participating there. I mean, right now, when you're watching, let's say, even your YouTube channel on a connected TV, look at the kind of experiments that are happening, the kind of commerce plugs that are happening on that. You'll suddenly have a pop-up of a barcode while you're watching something, and if you click on it, it takes you to some other place on your connected TV itself. So the interactivity which it is enabling is hugely getting tapped, and I see it only growing further, thanks to penetration, high-speed data, etc., becoming more and more easy to access. So no, I think that's happening quite a lot. I don't think it's ignored at all.
All right. So, I mean, from this conversation, what I've understood is that creative agencies have actually transformed into more than, providing more than just creativity. I mean, you guys are into, providing a full funnel service in some sense. So now that we are looking at 2026, um, what are those things that you have started approaching differently? And you think that they're gonna pave way for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years? I mean, what's the future of BBH and Saatchi looking like for you?
So very clearly, whether it is BBH or Saatchi or Propagate, we want to clearly dominate in any market that we're operating. Whether it's Mumbai, whether it is North or East, we clearly want to be a dominating force defined by two measures specifically. First and foremost, our creative reputation, right? Followed by our economic scale. I think these are the two simple classical measures on which we're going to play. To your second point on is there any approach which is different, right? I've given you a lot of specifics of the unique arbory that we have built, and now we are going to go at scale to implement it. Whether it is intelligent content, whether it is plugging in of hyperlocal data-backed insights on brands, and various other things I spoke about, influencer marketing in a very different, fresh way. All of those are basically, we have the entire armory. We just now need to execute that at scale. So principally, are we changing our approach? No. The only thing we're doing it now, instead of sharpening it and making it perfect, which we have come to that point already, we now need to execute this at scale. So 26 is a year of taking our entire weaponry of power of one, of unique creative schools and abilities which a BBH or Propagate or Saatchi and Saatchi would deliver, but now deliver aggressively at scale, right? Otherwise, we're clearly ahead of the competition on all of these areas because we have a working mechanism and ecosystem thanks to the group's focus on this. Not now, what people are trying to put together and stitch together now. We started doing that about 7 years ago. And many of our large brands, in automotive, within BBH and Saatchi, I'm saying, right? A lot of FMCG, we are playing that at absolute scale. End-to-end, full funnel, top of the funnel to after the funnel. Everything is being managed by us as brands. So there's nothing new in terms of bringing in new infrastructure or technology. I mean, of course, organic improvements will continue to happen. But the core job really is to dominate North and East and Mumbai markets with these agencies, right? And grow at scale, both in reputation
You
and
say
in
that
scale.
you say that there is nothing new, but there is one thing that is catching my ears again and again, and I really wanted to quickly put a spotlight on it with an example, of course. What do you mean intelligent of content. I mean, this is interesting. And when you say intelligent content, what exactly is that?
Fundamentally, today, the traditional conversation was about, do you have agile content building capabilities at scale? That largely was the conversation, which was largely trying to address, and not so successfully, if I may say, about how quickly you can produce how much. Because that's the nature of the beast of digital and social, right? The fatigue is high, the need for leveraging multiple conversations at the same time, etc., is high. So that was the broad need identification around which us as well as many other players in the market have done it. The core difference when we talk about intelligent content is it is not just creating a massive factory which is churning out 5,000 pieces of creative content or videos, let's say, on a daily basis, but it is something which is highly curated to the cohorts and consumers you're talking to the markets geographically, to the product lines, by way of very sharply defined media and consumer data points into the content. And the beauty of that is that it is a singular platform where the data inputs informs the creativity, and then that creative engine works to distribute that idea based by that data, multiple formations of that content, which again gets produced thanks to AI and other tools at scale very, very fast, and at costs and timelines which are phenomenal. So in a nutshell, it is an operating system. It's like an OS, literally, right? Which is fueled by and directly connected to data inputs, which converts to a creative idea, and that creative idea then gets converted first into multiple creative streams based on what a specific consumer cohort will consume that idea as, or a geography. The same idea, you can say just do it in one market in one way and the other one the other one, right? Because every consumer's social media context is different. Your feed on Facebook or Insta is different from mine. How can the brand talk to you in the same way? Should not. Now that level of personalization of content is what this enables them, and then still makes it at scale. It's not like, oh, we'll have to wait for 120 days to make it happen. No, that's not what you have. So in simple words, that's what intelligent content capabilities are.
So basically, how it is being produced is very intelligent. It's hyper personalized, but it is also being produced at scale, and that's what makes that particular content intelligent, if I'm understanding it right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I think this is a very right note to put an end to this conversation, because now we have a bridge between this conversation and the next conversation that we're going to have, which is expanding on intelligent content and what are the real capabilities of intelligent content. Until then, thank you so much, Himanshu, for giving us the time and being so detailed and so clear about all the questions and all the answers that we have exchanged in this conversation. And once again, you have a great day ahead, and thank you for being on Best Media.
Thank you, Lalit. Lovely chat, very insightful, and good to always have a chat with intelligent minds like you. So look forward for another one. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you, Marshall.